3. Should start to pop in here. There you go. That's one. It should be on your channel as well.
Mm.
So if you want to talk, and then I'll come in because it's also on your channel. I'm
Is
gonna
it there now?
Yeah.
Are we live? This is The Real Spiel. This is Del K. Brereton. How you guys doing? We're here with my man Slowly +1, and this is I Quit My Job. To all the Cyclopses in the building, Adi Al-Katani, the Spice Man, and Nikki, Western Outfitters. I got your hat on, girl. We about to talk right now. I quit my job.
Nice, 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 nice. Welcome, 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 welcome.
Good to be here, man.
Nice. Let me just get all fixed up here a little bit because you're all set.
I like the setup.
And my man's going live on his YouTube channel. I'm Slowly +1, so I might as well give you guys the greeting. We're going live right now. But as you know, this is I Quit My Job podcast, and welcome to another edition. My name is Slowly +1, and tonight's guest is no other than Mr. Del K, alias, or otherwise known as the Mayor. If you guys don't know that story, this dude is the Mayor.
I'm the Mayor of Queen Street, right?
Also, he's a personal trainer, so, you know, I can't really do his bio. I know there's a lot that he's accomplished over the time that I've known him. But let's welcome Mr. Del K to the platform and let him speak on what he does and where he is right now.
What's up, man?
First of all, thank you for showing up, brother.
Man.
Looking hot in that hat, you know what I'm saying?
Like I said, Nick,
it's pretty brave, but I love
got
it,
me
you
the
know?
cowboy, the black cowboy, the urban cowboy out the spot here.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, I just appreciate the platform, man. This is really good. When I saw you doing it, you know, just I call it the Sir Thrive mode, you know, because really
Nice.
in the entrepreneurial life, you basically got to just keep pushing. You got to keep doing it. You got to keep recreating yourself. And so, you know, a few businesses are running right now, and just happy to come here to talk about all of them.
Nice. So what are you currently doing? And like, just to get everybody up to speed before we jump into I Quit My Job podcast. So what are you currently doing right now?
So I have an incorporation that affords me a multiplicity of things. I'm a consultant with a particular school board in Toronto in education. That's my master's background. I also have a security training company, and I have a personal training business, as you mentioned, and more to come.
Nice, nice. So you don't stop.
Can't stop, man.
Nice,
Can't stop, 'cause
nice,
the money
nice.
stops when you stop.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So as you know, this is I Quit My Job podcast, where ordinary stories such as yourself can be big inspirations to someone else. So have you been in that moment where you can share with us, like, just jumping into the unknown, like, what was it like when you said, hey, I quit my job? Can you give us a little story about some of those life experiences?
Absolutely. 2006, for those who know me, I was a policeman. Was a policeman for about 13 years at the time, and I was ready to go. I was ready to get out of there. It was not where I wanted to be. I was ready for transition. I was ready to just jump off the boat, be like, I'm done with this. Crazy. I had this crazy dream. I'm not a big dream guy. I had this crazy dream, and it was this crazy rainstorm. I'm under a tent, and under this tent, I look out, and there's an angel sewing a bigger tent and says, stay under that one until I finish this one. Didn't understand it at the time. Long story short, about 6 months later, the police force offered me a package.
Wow.
Big package, like a major package.
Wow.
And I took it and ran.
You took it and ran.
I took the money and ran, paid stuff.
Okay, hold it right there. So since this is live, hold that right there. We're just going to get up and walk away for a minute.
Dun, 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 dun.
And then we're going to have to repeat because
commercial. We got a commercial.
Start again because I realize
you didn't turn that camera on?
We didn't record. We're recording everything else live, but we didn't record for the tape.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna, jump into it again.
You in the cut, man. This is the real cut.
This is the real deal.
You're
going live. You know what I'm saying?
You're getting the full cut right now.
The full cut. The full cut is your Instagram going live?
You know what? I didn't even turn my Instagram on.
good.
So everybody, Instagram, we live now too. It's okay. The YouTube is my YouTube people that I'm really worried about. I like to keep everything great for my speliacs. The Cyclopses.
Nice.
All right?
Nice, as you can see. So, yeah, As you can see, as we continue to get back on that live, I'm going to restart this whole thing.
Restart it up.
You know what I'm saying? So this is what you get in the live. This is what they call bloopers, but for us, it ain't bloopers. It's just all experience, and the story always gets better. So yeah, I'm Slowly Plus One. Welcome to another episode of I Quit My Job. And we have Dalkay Brereton with us, you know. And as you know, I Quit My Job's all about ordinary stories that turn to extraordinary inspirations. And with Dalkay tonight, also known as Dalkay, personal trainer, mayor of Toronto. There's a lot that comes with this young man, you know, that guerrilla training. So I'll let him explain himself and let him do his due. So first of all, brother, thank you for showing up. I appreciate you showing up to this podcast and share some knowledge.
I appreciate
it. So what are you currently doing? Get the viewers up to date on what you're doing now and who you are.
And what we didn't mention before, and as we do the rewind, is the host of The Real Spiel. The Real Spiel is you know, an online platform that has been created out of the multiplicity of issues in the Black community, Kyrie Irving and other things that has brought me to the forefront of YouTube. But I am a consultant. I have a corporation that works with education, of course, a personal training business, and I have a security training business that trains individuals in the security industry. So mixed bag of stuff so that the bag don't stop.
Nice. So that's what you're currently, you're just, you have multiple revenue streams that you're doing, and then that's where you're at right now.
That's where I'm at right now.
Oh, perfect. So as you know, this is I Quit My Job podcast, and it's all about stepping into the unknown, giving those, you know, the brave who are brave to actually step into the unknown. So for your experience or moment, I Quit My Job moment, can you explain and just share with the viewers like what you went through and like how was that?
So I was mentioning before that my moment was 2006 when I left the police force, and wanting to leave the police force desperately. I was just disgruntled. I had a lawsuit against them, all kinds of things. I wanted to step out, and you know, it was a bad regime. It was a bad situation, and I had said before I had a dream. In the dream I was under a raggedy tent. It was raining. It was holes in it. I stuck my head out. I saw an angel sewing a bigger tent. It said, "Stay under this one until I finish this one." Long story short, 6 months later, the police offered me a very, very lucrative package. And I took the package and ran.
So was there anything that did you have to say to somebody, I quit my job? Or like, how was that experience? Did you know that you're going to get a package to just walk out? Like,
I didn't really, and I was prepared for it. But at the time when, you know, it all came to a point and they knew I had them over a barrel, I had them. I was gonna sue them successfully. They offered me a package quick, and so at that time, yeah, I felt like, you know, that was a Conway 20. Take this job, and I ain't working here no more. And with the country hat, that works. That's perfect. That's perfect. See that segue?
That was nice. That was nice.
Nikki, I segued that country in there.
So now that you're going through that, you've got this compensation and you're ready to go. So what was that moment like when you were actually my first day, when you're home and you're like contemplating and you know, like, you know, things are slowed up, but you have this compensation? Like, what was that like?
I remember my friend, Gabe Kayson, he's my birthday twin. I had a lot of money in the bank sitting around there. He said this to me, "You gonna spend all that money in 1 year." And I was like, you know what, he's right. I gotta have something going. So at the time, actually, while I was a policeman, I also had my own group home business.
Right.
And the group home was extremely lucrative. I also had a clothing store simultaneously. So it wasn't just quit your job and hope for the best.
Right.
The backups were already in place.
Right.
I already saw that the streams of income, the 3 streams of income, and what was more lucrative at the time were the other things. It wasn't even the policing. And so I don't suggest anybody simply just jump off the boat, but put some things in place, because, listen, back in the day, slaves were freed, 1867, the Emancipation Proclamation, and most of them came right back to the same plantations working as sharecroppers, and their lifestyle didn't change. What does that mean? A slave and a worker, their lifestyle doesn't change that much. And so I understood that. I needed to get completely out of the slavery part and get into the freedom part. And then the last part is, I didn't even want to exchange money and time for myself. I didn't want my labor. I didn't want to even work for me.
Right.
I didn't want my labor to be put in place even for me. I wanted my ideas, which I'm saying I wanted my brain to work more than my actual labor.
And you know what? And the good thing about that, it became the knowledge economy.
That's right.
You know, everything based on the knowledge quality in terms of female, male. There was no thing about strength. It was just all about that knowledge. And so I guess around that time when you were changing and doing that transition, you know, and you having that ideology that, hey, you didn't even want to work for yourself in terms of doing the hard work and the lifting, the brain and knowledge was there to say, here, this is how. And that's a strategic way. So in that lived experience of you and how many years it took you to get to this point, in that lived experience, what can you share? What were like some turning points that made you realize, or some lessons that made you realize, like, hey, man, this ain't for the easy.
You want the drama part, or you want the good? Listen.
Hey, man, like, break it down, brother. Break it down. Whatever can be inspiration, you know, because somebody's going to follow your footsteps. Somebody's going to do that.
I agree. Prenup. You've got to be.
Well, if you wear a cowboy hat, you know that you got to have a prenup in your end result.
When you become an entrepreneur, every business now
Right.
becomes the community property of your relationship, of your marriage, and you've
Right.
got to be very careful because you're now building empires upon empires, and you just got to be careful with all of your contractual things.
Right.
So whether counsel, and you got to have a good contract.
Right. So in all of that, right? So I'm not saying it's lucky or whatever, but you transitioned from your work by having getting some compensation.
Mm-hmm.
So that probably made it a little bit easier on your decision making.
Absolutely.
So let's kind of reverse that. Let's say you didn't have that compensation. So throughout that time, that money ended.
Mm-hmm.
What were some of those thoughts, or that day when that money ended, to say what's next, or were you already in a groove?
Well, I was in a groove before, like I said. I was
Right.
going to quit before the compensation because I already had those two other streams.
Right.
Right? But I also have like a principle, like if you've planted seed there,
Mm-hmm.
you deserve to eat the fruit, period.
Right.
And so sometimes your transitional points, your transitional moments,
Mm-hmm.
don't leave the seed and not take the fruit with you. And so if I did not have the compensation, I was already planting seeds in other areas, right? So you've got to be in a position, because I had a lot of things, a better opportunity. So collaboration
Mm-hmm.
is the number one asset of an individual who is an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're doing right now. We're
Right.
collaborating,
Yes.
right?
And we collaborate. Right.
You're trying to build out Crew TV. You're trying to build out I Quit My Job. I'm trying to build out The Real Spiel.
Right.
But the collaboration, iron sharpens iron. So that's number one. And after the collaboration point,
Mm-hmm.
the networking.
Right.
And that networking can transcend. You can say, listen, I used to work for you, but now how about my business is contracted to you? Same
Right.
service.
Mm-hmm.
You know I can do what I can do,
Mhm.
but now let me do it in a professional manner where you're not hiring me.
Right.
You are now. I'm not invoicing you as a corporation. So all those networks, all those collaborations still work hand in hand. Very important.
I think that's actually the number one gem in terms of those that are going for businesses right now. Mhm.
How does that play a role in your scenario?
Okay, so in my scenario, I have a couple businesses or incorporations. So I have an incorporated that's Crew TV, but I also have an incorporation that's for profit. So Crew TV is basically the nonprofit. So, but in the nonprofit, we've made ourselves a social enterprise so that we can have revenue streams coming in within that, so we don't depend on grants so much.
Okay.
But in terms of granting is something that you should use as a revenue source. And then once you kind of get that grant, you got to use that grant to build that revenue source so that you're not so dependent on the grant. So if you get $30,000 to deliver a project, and remember, you're showing the government what you're going to do with that money.
Right.
And within that money, you have to be able to show, like, hey, I'm going to create a website. That website now starts you to say, hey, I can create a revenue stream within that website. So a lot of people, not a lot of people, a lot of organizations get this mixed up, is they get the grant, and then next year they want the grant again. They didn't even try to show or build something that they can generate revenue, even buy T-shirts and sell T-shirts
Right.
with their business so that they can donate these shirts and then kind of generate some revenue. So it's always, with granting, is to kind of use it as a revenue source and not just to complete the project. Don't focus so much on the product. Focus on the existence of where you want to be in a couple years. You know what I'm saying? So grant is really important,
Yeah.
but you got to be able to use it, and you also got to be able to know how to have a revenue stream within your organization, because grantings are certain times. So November, but nothing's happening again for another 6 months. So they turn, but then it's like you got to be able to plant seeds. So granting season, do all the grants you can in 2 hours, get them done, and then they plant seeds. So now in April, 4 grants are popping.
Right.
August, 4 grants are popping. So it keeps you kind of going in that level once you kind of have your revenue stream within your organization. And we can easily speak about that because I consult on that, and we can speak on that a little bit more.
Okay, brother.
So that was the one question, the real spiel.
The real spiel, holler out to Adi Al-Katani. Again,
Can I see me in there?
Nikki, you can see what you want. This is just Insta, but look,
Yeah, that's okay.
He's single. You single?
Single.
He's
I
single.
like, man. I got a
LMS,
couple.
stand up. You go single.
I got a couple singles
You got
out
a couple
there.
singles out there.
They're on Spotify.
Double singles.
They're on Spotify. You spot me.
It's turning into another show.
Could be. You never know.
I'm done.
Done.
I'm done.
So a pleasure for being on your show, bro. And
Thanks,
so, what is the real spiel about, man?
The real spiel is a breakdown of the urban conversation that's taking place between the black community and the world. In
Right.
Africa, North America, we are still in the conversation for equality, for liberty.
So that they can share their interests, share their knowledge, baking, cooking, things that they've lived experience.
You teaching Granny how to use a computer.
I'm teaching seniors how to use a computer.
Okay,
Grannies are part of it, but, seniors.
good job.
And it's not about the use of computers, it's about the digital applications of today.
Right.
So they learn everything on learning about the tablets, and the phone, as opposed to a computer. Computer is very light.
I always love that you always have another hustle. I mean, and that's the thing. We call it a hustle, but he has
Right.
he has entrepreneurial branches where he can take his mind. And we have a few of us like this.
Right.
Eldon, holler at you, brother. You're late. But guys who can just take an idea and turn an idea into a business stream, and that's what an entrepreneur is. That's
Right.
what you have to be now. It's and you said it at the beginning. It's an intellect error, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could still be the biggest gorilla in the jungle and just grab somebody by the neck and say, go over there and feed me. But the hunter-gatherer era is
Right.
different.
Right.
The beta
right.
man is winning,
Right.
right?
Right.
The alpha
right.
got to sit down and say, let's start thinking. So I'm blessed that you have that kind of brain, and I like to listen to ideas, and this is what we're doing right now. The collab.
The collab, as
With
you've
my
seen it.
doggone job.
Nice. Look good on camera, brother. So, as you can see, thank you so much. It's another episode of I Quit My Job, and it's a very unique episode. So there's things like that we'll do, and if you ever want to guest host, and whenever you want to even come in and have access to the studio to be able to do your own podcast, hey, connect with us, man. It's easy as that. All right? So
the Beacons, go on the Shiloh Institute. You can go on YouTube, the Shiloh Institute. My Beacons, you can do personal training, everything. All my businesses are there. Del K. Brereton on Instagram is there. Hit the Beacons. All the businesses pop up.
nice. So I'm Slowly +1, and thank you for being here, and couldn't do it without you. Peace.
There we go, man.
So that's it. That's still 19 minutes of that. Now we're still live.
Are we still live on, on YouTube?
Yeah.
YouTube, what's up, man? We did the doggone thing.
Yeah, we did it, brother.
We can also do a call-in that he didn't mention.
Oh, yes.
We can literally send you a link, and you can actually come on to the show. And so when we do more of these in the future, we want other people. We're going to send the link. We'll set the link up. You can use your phone and come right into the show live. Right. So he's the digital guy. He's the behind-the-scenes guy. I'm forcing him to be in front of the camera because he's that dude too. But he's got all of that. So anybody looking for that digital creator who can really put things together, make it sophisticated. He's been trying to get me in the booth, in the studio for months so that the real spiel could be a real podcast, which we're going to do too. We're gonna also hash that out. So all my spielites, please like, share. I'm looking for more subscribers. I don't know why the subscribers went in the opposite direction. But come on, Adi Al-Katani asked me if I'm still calling out businesses. Yes, I call out businesses. I do shout-outs to businesses. Nikki Western Outfitters. Got
some people. Brian Holmes, good day.
Brian Holmes. That's my man, Brian Holmes.
Yeah, so
What's
you got Miss Ann.
Miss Ann, happy birthday, Miss Ann. We forgot about you on the 28th, but I didn't. Happy birthday, happy belated birthday. We love you, Miss Ann.
She said it was low volume, but
Oh, it was low volume.
yeah, yeah.
That's because we're low talkers. We got that low baritone voice, Miss Ann.
And so Miss Ann said, "Peace and blessings to you all and the Real Steel family." Nice hat, pal.
Thank you. Appreciate you, cowpokes.
So once we kind of get some other individuals in here to work the boards.
Yeah. But I'm gonna do my real. I'm gonna do a real.
Answer those like easy on point.
Well, I'm gonna do a show. I'm gonna do a real spiel show
Right.
once a week, and we're gonna get. I just need to know what topic you want me to talk about. I personally wanted to do a show that was history and religious based.
Right.
You guys tell me, what do you want to hear on the True Podcast? The Real Spiel Podcast will be a variety of things: history, religion, current events. But I just want to hear from you guys because slowly ain't free. You understand? The man is charging money for this, so I want to make sure it's put together properly, and it's actually worth its while. I know it will be. I know it's going to be fantastic.
She's like buffering and intimately freezing.
That's what she said?
Something like that. But it could be their end,
Oh, okay. That's
So,
Miss Ann?
okay.
Miss Ann said that?
Yeah.
She's in L.A. Miss Ann, you might got that L.A. situation happening over there.
Storms everywhere. But yeah, so you want to end your stream?
Yeah, you can end it now. God bless you guys. I appreciate you. You're going to hear from me later on. Tomorrow is later on. And I'm going to come back to do a Bible study on Sunday.
And this one, so we're going to 3 places at once, Crew TV here. And if you go to your site,